Deborah, amidst the deplorable treatment of women and judges, is a heroine and judge. Deborah. Deborah lived during a time when the Israelites were suffering under the harsh rule of the Canaanites. God inspired Deborah to tell Barak to lead an army against the Canaanite army. Barak does, and he successfully defeats the Canaanite army in battle. Sisera, the commander of the Canaanite army, flees from the battle and takes shelter in the tent of a woman, Jael. Jael offers Sisera milk, and when Sisera is asleep, she quickly kills him by hammering a tent peg through his skull. For Ambrose, the two women, Deborah and Jael, foreshadow the church, which likewise, as a strong woman, leads her children to successfully defeat the enemy. When referring to the church, Ambrose is at the same time referring to Mary, who perfectly embodies the church. For Mary, writes Ambrose, is the type of the church, which is also married but remains immaculate. At the end of time, as first prophesied in Genesis chapter 3, Mary and her seed, that is Christ and his mystical body, the church, will crush the head of Satan. Genesis 3:15 and Revelation 12. The crushing of the skull of an evil military commander by the woman Jael is a sign of this future, more important victory when the spiritual power behind evil world rulers, such as Sisera, will be definitively defeated. In referring to the spiritual powers that lie behind the wicked, St. Paul writes, "For we are not contending against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, against the powers, against the world rulers of this present darkness, against the spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places." Ephesians 6:12. With these words, Paul is teaching what already is found in the Old Testament: an unseen angelic world, the unseen world of created intelligences intertwined with our visible world. As pointed out by Petrie, the prophet Ezekiel states that the actual power behind a very wicked ruler, the king of Tyre, was, and I quote, "in Eden, the garden of God, who was blameless, till iniquity was found in you, who was filled with violence and sinned." Ezekiel 28, verses 13 through 16. Here, Ezekiel is identifying the actual power behind this ruler with the angelic tempter, Satan, from the beginning of time. In accordance with church wisdom, formed by biblical wisdom, we should take great caution in claiming that anyone we know is influenced by evil spiritual powers, but at the same time, we ought to be aware that it is possible and does occur, and all are vulnerable to these intellectual powers that interface with our world in good and in evil ways. May God bless you all.